Welcome back to the Think Strong Network. Have you ever felt that little pull inside, that feeling that you're meant to make a real difference, but maybe you just weren't sure where to even begin? Well, today we are breaking down a really powerful four-step framework from the Educational Highway. It's designed specifically to turn that good intention into real-world action. Okay, let's jump right in. So, who is this for? Honestly, it's for anyone who feels that pull to do more. Maybe you're a student trying to figure out your path, or a professional who wants to leave a legacy. Maybe you're a parent trying to build a better world for your kids. This is for all of you, for the dreamers, and for anyone who is just ready to make an impact. So let's start with the big question. What does it actually mean to be a catalyst for change? It's so much more than just having a good idea. A catalyst is the active ingredient, right? It's the spark that ignites a reaction and really gets things moving. And the whole idea behind the framework we're exploring today is that absolutely anyone can be that spark.
Okay, so the very first step in this whole process is all about finding your spark. And this isn't just about picking a goal out of thin air. No, this is about digging deep and identifying that personal why, the thing that's going to fuel you for the entire journey ahead.
So what is it for you? What's that one cause that gets your heart pumping, or the issue that you just can't look away from? This brings me to my first big question for you. Drop the cause you're passionate about in the comments below. Seriously, let's see what really drives this community. The framework also points out that the spark isn't always some warm, positive feeling. Sometimes it's actually a push. It's born out of pure frustration. I mean, think about a time you saw something and just thought to yourself, that's it. Enough is enough. That feeling, that almost righteous anger, that can be an incredibly powerful motivator for change. Okay, so you've found your spark. That's huge. But passion by itself, well, it isn't quite enough. The second part of this framework is what we call the bridge. This is all about developing the right mindset you need to get from just having good intentions to taking good actions. Now take a look at these questions. This is what the source calls a catalyst's mindset. And instead of just reading them off, I want you to take a second and really, honestly ask yourself these questions. The whole idea here is to shift your perspective from passive to active, to start seeing opportunities instead of obstacles, to take ownership instead of waiting for someone else, and to actively look for people to join you. This internal shift, it's the foundation for everything that comes next. Let's just pull out this one question because it is absolutely crucial. A catalyst doesn't sit around waiting for the perfect opportunity to fall out of the sky. No, they're skilled at finding possibilities even when things look like a challenge. So this brings me to my second question for you today. What's one opportunity for change, big or small, that you see in the world right now? Go ahead and share it with us in the comments. Having a powerful mindset is critical, for sure, but it needs a plan to become reality. And that brings us to part 3 of the framework, the blueprint. This is where we stop thinking about the why and start getting serious about the how by creating a personal action plan. Let's break this down real quick. First, you have to get specific. What does making a difference actually look like? Write it down. Second, take an inventory of yourself. What are you already good at? What resources do you have access to? Third, be brutally honest about why you want to do this. A pure motive is a sustainable motive. And finally, and this is probably the most important part, what is the very first, tiniest step you can take today? Not tomorrow, today. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most critical piece of this whole puzzle, the commitment. The core idea here is that real, meaningful change is never free. It always comes with a cost. The only question is, are you willing to pay it? And like you see here, the cost isn't just about money, not at all. It's about being really honest with yourself about what you're willing to commit. How much of your free time are you actually willing to invest? What resources, like your skills, your network, are you going to put on the line? And what comforts are you willing to sacrifice? Being clear-eyed about this from the start is what separates the dreamers from the doers. Just take a second and let this quote sink in. It's so much more than just a nice-sounding sentence. It's a declaration. It perfectly ties together purpose, collaboration, and timing. According to the source, this right here is the mission statement of a true catalyst. As we wrap things up, it's really important to mention that this entire 4-part framework we've walked through comes from a coaching session by the Educational Highway. Their work is completely focused on empowering people to create exactly this kind of meaningful change. So, after breaking down the spark, the bridge, the blueprint, and the commitment, what's the one big takeaway? It all boils down to this simple but incredibly powerful phrase you see on your screen: doing something that makes a difference. At the end of the day, that's the entire goal.